Hi, I'm Moriah.
And I'm Greg.
We're the Goods. We lived previously in a very tiny house. It was less than 500 square feet, and the kids had the bunk beds in the living room, and we were kind of on top of each other all the time.
And again, there were positives to it. There was a lot of closeness, and the family got much closer, and that's great for a short period of time. My career took off, and I got to take the next step, and that empowered us to really buy the next house or go to the next step, which meant buying a house. And we always knew that was part of our goals, and luckily the time came. I was scared about committing to something before I knew it was a good fit. Getting excited about the first thing.
I was just scared that we weren't going to find a house that was in our price range. I mean, we were limited in that we were very specific about where we wanted to live, and I honestly can't believe that we got to be where we want to be, and I'm very thankful that we are.
So Moriah grew up here in Crest.
It's called an unincorporated area, so it's very small. I loved it as a kid, but I had grown away from it and I lived in New York, I lived in Las Vegas, I lived not here, and I didn't realize as an adult this was exactly where I wanted to be again. So then it became it went from we moved up here out of necessity because we needed a place to live to this is where I want to stay, and that was scary because it's not big. So trying to find a home in our price range, was it felt like a very big task. It was suggested to us by other people, look elsewhere. You're not going to find it, and look elsewhere. And that was really hard for me to hear. And guess what? Danny and Katie made it happen. We are where we want to be, and we're so thankful. I don't know. I've said this to anybody who will ask. I don't know how we would have done this without Danny and Katie. Not knowing what to expect, not knowing how the process is, not knowing who to talk to for this thing or for loans and for all, mortgage and all of that. Like, what do we do? And it became apparent really quickly that what do? We call or text Danny and Katie, and that'll get us our answers.
Very true. And one of my favorite parts about it too was knowing that whoever Danny and Katie were working with were going to be trustworthy.
We would absolutely recommend Katie and Danny, and have already. We have a neighbor who's looking to sell, and we said, who you should talk to, because we just felt like we were in good hands the whole time. We had a lot of weird things happen to us, things out of our control, things out of Katie and Danny's control when we were in the process of this house, things that were very stressful. And Katie and Danny were on it immediately. They would respond and go, we need to get on the phone about this right now. Here's information for you. And we just felt so taken care of. We're not alone. We're not alone. We have a support team, and that made all that stress come down a little bit.
And another interesting element about that too is, if not for Danny's suggestion, we wouldn't have looked at this house. I know it's not this one way that we were expecting to find our house. And Danny said, let's check it out anyway. We said, okay. And we came here, and the moment, minutes after walking in, we went, okay.
Yep.
Okay.